Okay, Bob Sima and Shannon Plummer both possess a creative intelligence that complements and infinitely weaves with the other. They navigate internal trials by outwardly sharing and expressing the universal truths that have come to and through them. Their offerings of music, poetry, journey, so much, keynote presentations, workshops, retreats, shamanic healing sessions are their ministry. A ministry whose mission is to provide creative arts, education, and experiences that activate compassionate love within the self and with the collective. Bob and Shannon are longtime friends of Joyful Gathering Spiritual Center, and it's been a while since we've seen them, and we have a new venue, and a lot of things have gone by, including the train, since we met. But I can only tell you that we are so very happy to have our very special guest today. So I would like to introduce Bob Sima and Shannon Plummer.
We'll just wait for some more trains to go by. Yes?
Perfectly
Awesome.
played.
Oh my goodness. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're so excited to be back. Reverend Margaret, thank you so much for having us. Oh my goodness, it has been long. It has been longer than we wished it had been. So how does this work? What are you guys in for? And usually I say, well, I have no idea how this is going to come out. Normally what I do is I sit down and write, and I channel through writing. And when I'm preparing for a Sunday service, I weave 3 of Bob's songs into that message. And it is interesting because sometimes he looks at me and he's like, how are those songs related? And I said, well, you'll find out on Sunday morning. So sometimes it's a bit of an interesting pull from his library, songs that he hasn't done in a while that for some reason came to me.
That's always appreciated. Like
right.
I remember the words at 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Sometimes she throws me under that bus, but it's
And I will say this morning, not only are we touring to celebrate Bob's 10th album release, we are celebrating much creativity in our world, as I am writing a book that goes along with the album and the themes of the album. That brings in my shamanic practice and my personal stories. So a lot of things are happening, and you'll hear a little bit this morning about that concept, the concept of the new album, and a little taste of some seeds, let's say, that are planted that you'll read more about in the book when you read it, because I know you will be an amazing audience for that, for the book. So, what else do you want to say this morning?
Thank you. That's all I want to say. Thank you. It's so nice to be back. I love this new space. And thank you, John, for running over to Wawa and getting us coffees and water. And just to Steve for getting us set up. And Brenda, where's Brenda?
Brenda's not here.
Brenda, thank you, wherever you are.
She's not here.
Okay. She was very helpful. And thank you
Yes.
for our contingent from South Jersey coming in. Just all of you. Just thank you. I don't have anything else, but you ready for the song? Okay. This is the title track of the new album. And it likens life to a video game. So when you get to the next level of life, it's a little harder. New level, new devil. So you've been broken open again, hard, raw, twisted and bent. Well, it's not like you've never been here before, so you cry your tears truth and have a say. Remind yourself how far you come. Let it in, let it out, let it in, let it out, let it in, let it out, let it in, and let it be done. It's just new levels, new devils, old ghosts, new wind. Don't get discouraged, get a little deeper down within. Don't let it just hurt you, walk away. Don't let it just hurt you this time. Don't let this moment be about anything but elevating you inside. There's a different you this time around. It's a breakthrough, not a breakdown. There's a holy love that's filled your cup. There's a brighter light up in the sky. Oh, you're looking up. It's just new levels, new devils, new growth, old soul. You took this pill, you swallowed it whole. Yeah, you all can sing it. New levels, new devils. Everyone likes a good hum along. New levels, new devils. It's a little earworm. Won't get stuck in your head. New levels, new devils. New levels, new devils.
I love that Reverend Margaret, after that song, just went, yeah, sinking into that moment and just receiving the message of that song alone is quite a gift. Quite a gift that Bob Sima has, wrapping up these massive concepts into 3 minutes. And when he chose the title track, The New Levels, New Devils, I think we both had conversations like, wow, you know, that might be a charged word for some people. And is it? Or isn't it? I mean, have you ever considered the origin of the word devil? So, without going into a massive like linguistics, you know, master's level course, the word devil comes from a concept that describes a being divided against itself. A being divided against itself. So it's not an entity that lives in hell. It's a piece of us that creates hell within. And we can beautifully transmute those hellish moments of being a wounded victim to an empowered victor.
Yes, ma'am.
That's this beautiful human experience. Only we don't defeat some external enemy or adversary to become that victor. We free the internal part of us, that little devilish part, that fought for the victim award. The part that cheated us out of seeing the higher potential during our life experiences. The part of us who just loves to stare back in the mirror like that little sinister, right? So how long do we allow ourselves to retreat from the prankster until we're just really sick and tired, just flat out bored with that ghost that haunts the perception, our perception of what we are experiencing as life. As we complete a piece of our healing work, as we begin to understand the new potential of ourselves, as we experience a new level of becoming, that devil will disappear. We'll begin to disconnect from it. The grip it had will release. Its unhealthy effect will diminish and decay. And what do we know about decay and nature? It creates a lot of fertile ground for growth, right? And I always like to, especially when I'm working with clients, I always like to remind people, we never release an experience or a part of who we are through affiliation with that experience. We don't release that experience from our consciousness. We release how we perceive that experience and our perception of who we are post-experience. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We got that?
Yeah.
We don't release the experience from our memory or the imprint it made. We release our perception of who we are after that experience. So that view is a view that's beyond what we could see in the moment that it was happening, right? When we went into that survival mode. Mm-hmm. And I like to have a little delicious little step that we add in there that sometimes we overlook. If we release something, there's a void, right? When something shifts, there's a change, there's a void that's created. And I don't know about you, but I sure don't want some little undesirable little imp moving its way and wiggling its way back into that space. I want to be really, really intentional about what I infuse back into that space, that shift, right? So maybe it's a new perspective, maybe it's a new story that's rising from the ashes of hell. But it was a perceived hell. It was that internal hell that we trudged through, that we create from. We get to walk out of those ashes with a new story. And whatever that might be for you, the newly fertilized soil that you stand upon as you rise from those ashes, as that devil decays, that is where you plant a new potential. That is where you see your new potential coming to life. Fair enough?
Yeah.
So what happens when we plant something? What do we plant? A seed. There's a seed. We have to bury a seed when we plant something that we want to grow. A seed that only exists because we're willing to examine things below the surface. In the shamanic world, we call that the underworld. In New Thought world, we call it the subconscious, right? In psychology, we call it the subconscious. That's the underworld of our being. That's where the seeds get planted. And that seed can sprout with a different perspective than the one that came before it. And as the roots of that new seed spread through the mud, we become the sprout. We become that sprout, reaching for the light, reaching for that new vision, reaching for and being nourished by a new perspective. And we grow with that as our foundation. So, I just want to do a quick exercise. This is not like sit in for 5 minutes and really, really discern. This is like, you know, in first grade when they're like, yellow or blue, and it's just the first thing that comes to your mind. Like that's this exercise, that is what this exercise is about. So I'm going to invite you to think about something from your past, and it can be a thought, a belief, a paradigm, a friend, a relationship, it can be a concept, it could be a feeling, anger, sadness, grief, that you released. You've worked on releasing that thing, okay? 3, 2, 1, what is it? Now, observe yourself when you realized the shift that you had. Step back and just observe yourself. Describe the qualities that you see in yourself when that shift happened, as that old victim energy was transmuted into the victor energy. What changes did you make to recognize that you could become the new potential? What did you continue to do for yourself to ensure that that victory lap, that you still were running that victory lap? How did you challenge and hold yourself accountable to remain at the new level of awareness, that new level of consciousness, that new potential of being that you became after that release? Now I invite you to celebrate. Celebrate that. Celebrate. It's so easy when we hear other people and we watch and observe our beloveds going through life and coming out through the other side. Yes? But how often, it's so easy to celebrate them, yes? Because we can see it. But do we ever really take that, how quick was that exercise? Do we ever take the time to do that for ourselves? And be able to comfortably celebrate those moments within our own lives. The reality is, if you didn't feel yourself ready, if you didn't feel leveled up enough to kick out that little devil, you would potentially be walking around with that little guy on your shoulder, that little gal on your shoulder, yes? And reciprocally, if you didn't feel the tug and the tests of that little devil in your consciousness, you wouldn't have a reason to become a different version of yourself. To level up. So which came first? The level or the devil? The devil or the level? The new sin or the new win? As Bob said beautifully in his song. It doesn't really matter. So we are going to move into a meditation. So as you shift yourself around and find a comfortable spot for that, whatever that perfect position is for you, just remember that memory that you focused on in that quick little exercise came up for a reason. And you recalled the changes you made, how you continued to move beyond the place that you felt stuck. You were even able to step outside of yourself and recognize new qualities, a shift in yourself. Those are the moments we need to celebrate about us. And from that place of celebration, from that place of gratitude and appreciation for our life experiences that brought us fully into this moment, I invite you, if you haven't done so, to close your eyes. Allow yourself to surrender into this moment. Allow your breath, receive a breath, and allow that breath to activate you. Not activate your body, activate you, the truth of what you're carrying around inside of you. And I'm going to invite you to identify something today, in this moment, right now, that your heart is calling for you to let go. It can be a concept, it can be an emotion, it can be a relationship, it can be anything. And maybe you've been ignoring that call. Maybe your stubbornness, that I know something about, maybe your stubbornness is preventing you from letting it go. What is it? And if it's an object, I invite invite you to bring that into your mind's eye, right in front of you. If it's a concept or a feeling or an emotion, I invite you to objectify it. Put an object on that. Find a representation of that concept or that belief or that feeling. And pull that into your mind's eye, right in front of you. Now, don't let it just hurt you and walk away this time. This time, we're going to put it on stage. In your mind's eye, I invite you to create a magnificent stage with all of the lighting. Maybe there's an orchestra, a beautiful set, and invite that object to the center of the stage and let it have its moment. That's all it wants. Give it that moment to act and behave and speak and dance, do somersaults, whatever it needs to be. Just let it have its moment in the glory, in the light, in your awareness of its existence. Hear the music that's accompanying this grand adventure, this grand theatrical performance. And I'll count backwards from 3, and when I do, I invite you to slowly start taking steps towards the stage. 3, 2, 1. Step by step, you slowly walk toward the stage. And as you do, the lights get dimmer. All of the stage props disappear. The music gets softer. And the closer and closer you get to the object, the smaller and smaller it becomes. Fear is the only thing that gets smaller the closer we get to it. And as you reach the front of the stage, you realize that the stage is now soil. And that object has diminished into a seed. I invite you to make your way up the steps to the stage. And know as you're standing on the edge of the stage, this is your growth edge. This is your moment to make a decision. Do you scurry down the steps or do you breathe? Do you receive a breath and walk towards the seed? Feel your feet in the soil. And as you're standing above the seed looking down, this is your chance to declare your intentions for your new potential because of that representation that is now a seed sitting in front of you. Declare your intention, declare what it is you envision for yourself in your next steps of life. I'm going to count backwards from 3 again, and when I do, you reach over and you pick up the seed. 3, 2, 1. The seed is in your hand. And I invite you to pull from your cosmic center, from the center of the earth, from your place of divinity, 100% compassion and love. Pull that energy in and shower that seed with all of that beautiful divine energy. We humans carry love and we also carry will, so we get to choose when and where we share and receive love. I hope you say yes. Shower the seed. Shower the seed. And 3, 2, 1. Pop that seed in your mouth and swallow it whole.
Haven't you noticed the patterns of the pain in your past? Things that broke you, they also woke you to the questions you need to ask. Sleepless nights and dizzying heights and dreams, some of which came true. Tough breaks, heartaches, perfect mistakes created this version of you. And everything you go through grows you. Exposes who you are. If it hurt, it made you soft. If it was hard, it fueled the hunger. If it touched you, your heart took hold. And if it was simple, it made you wise. If it was sweet, it made you smile. With an indelible impression on your soul. Your feet, they walked in your lips, they talked, and your hands dug around for the proof. Every look, every book, picture in your mind that you took created this version of you. And everything you go through grows you. Grows you, and everything you go through grows you. Exposes the roots of an endless song. Part-time temporary lovers in the swoon of the deep blue sky. And as the time flew, you planted and gathered your truth as it passed before your eyes. And the wound is where the light gets in, revealing the masterpiece just beneath the skin. In the glow of your own light, your petals open wide, and you bloom right where you are.
declare that potential that you are claiming you can become, I invite you from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, shower yourself in that energy of the potential that you are. You are already it. Feel it in your bones, feel it in every cell of your being, and know that that is inspired by that seed that you planted inside of you. It is now your turn to sprout. And as you receive your next inhale, I invite you to slowly begin to feel your surroundings. Feel the seat beneath you, feel the floor beneath you. Feel your community surrounding you. Listen to the notes of the guitar. Find yourself back in the room. No mud, no lotus. As we integrate that new potential, we grow and bloom as the lotus. I always believe that each new petal that we sprout, if you will, represents a moment, that decision point where we choose to apply the lessons of our life experiences. And we unveil our new deeply rooted potential as that flower begins and continues to bloom. But then what? Great, we have a bunch of petals. Got a bunch of life lessons. So what's really interesting about the lotus flower are the seed pods of the lotus release into the water. And they trust. They simply trust that the current is going to safely deliver all of those little seeds to a place that has maximum growth potential. And as we recognize the changes within ourselves, we tend to share our awarenesses and triumphs with our beloved friends, our community, all of our circles that we have surrounding us. And oftentimes others can relate to what our experiences, our stories of transformation, our lotus seeds. And as we actualize that potential, we might even be a model for somebody else to say, you know what? I can get through my muck, I can get through my mud because they did. So, what other lotus flowers might have influenced your own self-inquisition? What other lotus flowers might seed because of your shared experiences? I believe that that petal, that new lotus petal, grows for both the person who shares their story and the person who receives it, who is willing to take action in their own lives. Author and death doula S. Kelly Harrell says, we don't heal in isolation, but in community. So those stories need to be shared. So here's the challenge for the week. I know, homework, homework, homework. It's summer vacation. No spiritual vacation. So we left the meditation where you swallow the seed. You claimed your potential that you know you can become. So I'm going to invite you to return to a contemplative space and vision how that potential, how that new potential could, should, would The one is the one, like, coulda, shoulda, woulda, all over yourself. See how that potential will show up as you. How it could, how it might, how it will show up as you. And as you vision yourself actualizing that new potential, what are those qualities, internal and external, that you can observe yourself becoming because you are embracing that new potential? And write down those qualities. Make it real. And if you want to take it a step further, you can print out a lotus flower, and each petal will be one of those qualities. Right? Because we're blooming with that new potential. The next step would be, how is that going to influence your home, your relationships, your community, the world? Those are the ripples. Those are the seeds from the lotus. So if you print out or in your mind envision that lotus flower with all your qualities on all the petals, the ripples would be all of those ways that you are showing up and the world is perceiving you. Isn't that a little test? So easy to see it in other people. How do we envision ourselves walking forward and those ripple effects going out through the water and those seeds existing because you are willing to do the work? And once you generate that picture, I'm guessing you're going to recognize a new level of you. So expect the test. Expect that little imp to show up at some point and test you. So you just graduated from 2nd grade, now it's 3rd grade. It's level 3 on the video game. Whatever that is your request. That is yourself asking you, it's time to level up. Let's do this thing, right? We simply have to uncover what we might have avoided, what we forgot, and what we missed in our subconscious. And there we have it. Everything we bury is a seed. Everything we bury is a seed. Every seed carries potential. Every potential inspires growth. And every growth introduces new levels. We don't just do this for ourselves. We do this for all that came before us and for everything that is yet to come.
Everything you buried, everything you lost and didn't grieve, everything you buried was a seed. Everything you buried, everything you thought would make you bleed, everything you buried was a Thank you.